Hi, my name is Alessandro Cangelos and that's a new video tutorial coming from cgcookie.com for MaxCookie. This time we continue to talk about the iRay material. We prepared a sneak peek video some days ago, and today we'll start to use it to create a tutorial. We'll try to finalize the scene in part 1, or maybe it will be a series. So the purpose will be to create a jewel, so we'll work to create some rings, maybe one model or two model, and we have to check the scale for the scene. That's okay, and we start creating the simplest version. And to model the first ring, I create actually using no scale. We'll use an arc, okay, and then we convert to editable spline. This one I move this one, let's add the axis, and let's say that this one stay there, and then later we'll adjust it. Let's go to have more segments, and then we can design another spline. Let's say that we'll use a rectangle, something like that. Then we'll use this one as loft. So we have to prepare the loft, so we can use the compound object loft, and we'll say to get the shape, and as you see we are using this shape, but we'll say to rotate the shape by 90 degrees, so we'll have this shape. And then we can maybe we can use without rotation, maybe it's better. Okay, and we can change a little bit the shape. Okay, something like that. And I like to have on the loft, let's check the shape path can be, let's say 4, and the path a little bit more optimized shape. Okay, so we have half part, but we have for sure to check the mesh there. Then we can assign a symmetry. So you see we have part of the ring. Then I like to have a better shape, and to have a better shape we can do something really simple. We can use a circle to have the right shape, so we can check where we are doing something wrong. So you know that we can put this one there, this one is okay there, something like that, and something like that there. but to be sure I like to scale this one to check, and you see that we have partially a good ring, so we can remove this one. Let's go back there. Okay, so we have part of the ring, and we can do something really simple, and I mean we can go in the loft and we can check the deformation, the scaling, and you see we have the graph where we can control the scaling. Let's say that maybe there it is a little bit more little, and then there we have a bezier corner. So you see we have the scaling coming when we need it, and then you see that we have the shape in this way. Let's see with the edges faces what we have. So that's the actual shape. Okay, so let's go there and let's convert to editable poly, and I like to save the scene in the right folder. Sorry. And let's say 3ds Max rendering iRay, let's say jewels with iRay material. Let's copy the name, and we have it. Okay, now we have to make the mesh there working in a better way, so we can, for example, use this one. Let's put it near, and let's do something really simple because I like to that's wrong, I made a mistake, so we need the symmetry, so we can remove this one, convert to editable poly, then we can use the symmetry, because obviously we need the symmetry after the editable poly. Let's see the final result, and then we can go working there. Let's do something really simple. Okay. Let's say something like that. Okay. Perfect. Then let's say that this one will have an extrude, and the extrude with a little bit of zoom there to see. See, we don't need so much. Okay, let's say that this one is right. So we have this shape actually, then we can select this area there and we can move it let's see there with a zoom, and you you see we can create maybe we have just to scale this part to have something inside, and also from the other point of view there we can pick this vertices there and this vertices there, but maybe we can make the same thing just there and trying to scale it to have something different. Okay, then let's see if we use, for example, this area and this area, and we can extrude it let's see by polygon or by group, just to see which will be the best way. Okay, let's try to do less. Okay, and then you see that later we have some kind of problem, but we can just move again and move on the other axis there, but we can do it later. So we can say okay, and then we can go to see we have a little bit of space there just to have some metals, and we can be sure to have something not like a knife. To do something like that, we have to select all the edges needed, and then we can do a simple chamfer. Let's see with a chamfer with more step. Okay, something like that, really thinny. Perfect. Let's use again the chamfer. Okay, so we have a base there to put something inside, and I like to make some changes there. So we'll have a bevel, but it will be down, and the scaling will be less. Okay, so you see we have a right shape. Okay, now this one is really simple. Then I like just to put a mesh over it, and and we can start maybe with let's say what we have there. We can try maybe, let's see, the capsule. I don't like it so much. Let's see, let's try with a Chamfer box. Let's do something like that, and we can put this one in the middle over this axis, and then we can move it there. Okay, let's go this point of view. Okay, we can play a little bit with it, so it can be a little bit bigger on this axis and a little bit bigger on the other axis there, but we'll do it, you see, more little over the other axis. Then let's move. I'd like to convert to editable poly, and I like to make something over this faces there, and I like to have a slice plane, and I like to rotate it by 90 degrees, and we'll have a slice, and then by 90 degrees, and we'll have a slice. So then we can select the vertices, and you see that we'll have, I made a mistake. Okay, so let's select everything, and let's use again a slice plane, slice, then rotate by 90 degrees and slice. Okay, perfect. Now we can pick the vertices there, and we can scale a little bit, and then on the other axis we can pick there and scale over one axis. Then I like to select all the edges, and we can do a little bit of chamfer over all edges. Okay. So this one will be our first jewel. It is really simple, as you can see. But it will be nice to start with this one, because using a simple model is the best way to understand what we are doing. So the first one is done, so we can prepare a set, and the set will be really simple. First of all, we have also to scale everything, so we can select this one and this one. We can make a group, and we call it ring 1, and then we have to check the scaling, and we have to understand the right scaling. We are talking about 150. So let's scale everything by 10, 10, and 10. Zoom everything. This one can be removed, this one too, and this one too. I'm using a really simple way to scale everything. Let's say that this one can be 30%, so 3, 3, and 3. Let's use again the taper. We're talking about 3 centimeters is still too big, so we can directly go for 1.5, 1.5, and 1.5. Okay, that's our model. So let's create a plane from there. Let's say that the plane will be 50 centimeters by 50 centimeters is not so important actually, and let's move it down so we can use just the alignment on the zeta position, and then we'll move it up. Okay, so that's a way to have it. And then obviously it will be really simple actually, so then okay, let's do a simple material for the ground. Let's call it ground. We'll use the iRay, and we'll go, let's use something like this color, and we'll have just a little bit of roughness, nothing special, and I think we can go for something like that. The glossy will be maybe 0.25 and 0.75 for the diffuse, and we'll have a little bit of roughness. Okay, let's check the reflection. And let's say that we have a little bit of roughness. So you see we have something glossy, and the IRR will be 1/6. Okay, then we need to start having some shader there, so group open, and this one will be white gold, and this one will be diamond 1. So the white gold will be another iRay material, and this one can be a gray like this, and let's remove the glossy, and we'll use this time a reflection, but the reflection will be with the IRR set to 8, and we'll have a little bit of glossy. Let's see how much we can use. Let's try with 3, but I'm not sure. We have to make some tests. And for the diamond we can do two things. We can start with a diamond preset, and later we can fix it if we like to have different coloring. So then let's go with the lighting, and for the lighting we can use, let's think about it, we can go for a photometric lights. Let's start with this one. It is a rectangle, it is more little. Okay. Let's say that we have an exposure, let's say indoor for the moment. Perfect. So this one will be our main light, and let's save, and we can make our first test to see how it is going. That's the resolution. Let's try at 600, and I will use actually just for processor and just the Tesla. Okay, this light is really powerful, and that's the first thing we see. So let's set to off, and let's check, and let's go for 250, maybe something like that. And the environment will use an HDR map. Let's go for something we can use basically from 3ds Max. So we go in the maps, HDR, let's say, okay, let's use this one, desk, with a basic default value, and spherical and environment. And this one can be used as an instance. Okay, the illumination is better now, but I still like to have a different look. And we can use something for the environment, and I'm thinking about the environment background switcher, and we'll use the background as black, and this one will use the, let's see if we have something more interesting like this one. Okay, with no blurring, and the output will be maybe 15. Okay, let's save. And let's try to make a test render. Okay. Let's go to check this one. We have the, let's see if we have a really high glossy reflection. Let's remove, and let's see without glossy reflection. See, we have a big reflectivity over it, but actually it's not a problem. Let's make this one. Okay, to something like that. Okay. And we'll go Again, for something less powerful, save, edit, clone, we make a copy, and from the other point we go for something different, and it will be, we need obviously the shadows, but you know, iRay will render it, but it will be useful to see the shadows there. And this one will be less powerful, and let's say that we have a filtering color to have something like that. Let's see how it is coming. You see that it is going better than before. We have just to tune a little bit the lighting. Okay, another little bit of tuning of our lighting. Let's select the first light. Intensity is still high. We can make a fast test. It is going a little bit better, but we need still less lighting. Also because I like to put a second light, a third light inside the scene when we have the other models ready. But you see that it is starting to be more realistic. So let's go for something like that there, and something like that. Again, a little bit less. Just render, and that's okay. Okay, close. Save. Now I like to create boxes where we can put the ring, and then we'll create a new ring in the next part. So we need to create a boxes, and to create a boxes we need something really simpler. Let's go there, and we can use, let's hide the lights, and we can start using a Chamfer box. Okay, and this Chamfer box can have some proportion to be scaled in the right time, and we can think about to have 6 centimeters, and we'll go for maybe the height 4.5. It is a little bit too big, so let's move it there to see the proportion. It is still too big. Let's try with 4 centimeters, maybe 5, and let's try with 3.5, maybe 4. Okay, so that's the maximum scaling, but we need half scaling there to make the base. So let's go for 2.5. We'll have more fill segments, maybe something like that. Okay, then we need the same thing up to make the boxes. And that's okay. Then let's convert to editable poly, and we can have a little bit of different shape. Okay, just to have something different. Perfect. Okay, so let's move the pivot, because the boxes must be must be able to open, and let's put it there. Okay, then we can assign an X form to be sure that when we open the boxes we are just moving, you see, this one. It is not important there to be sure that it is perfect. So let's close the gizmo there. Let's convert this one to editable poly. Then let's use the edges faces. Then we are moving this one, and we can make an outline. Let's say something like that. Okay, then we'll have an extrusion, obviously on the down area, and that's okay. Then the edges, we need that edges, we have to remove this one. Then the chamfer, really smooth. Okay, and save. Then we need something really soft inside the boxes there, so we can create another chamfer box. And we can move it there. It will be higher, let's say something like that. And it will be something like that. Okay, then we need to make something there to put inside the ring, so convert to editable poly, and we need to cut all the polygons there, so we can use again the slice plane, by 90 degree, and let's move it with the local there, slice there, slice, and then let's rotate by 90 degree, slice, let's say slice. It must be not so precise, so we can play a little bit with various stuffs. Okay, so let's say that, that we select this and this. Maybe we start with this one, and we go for there to make a scaling, but we'll use those vertices. Okay, and just playing with you doing this the stuffs, because I didn't test it before. Let's go up, down, it's not important here, the shape, let's say yes. Then let's try to select these edges let's try to do a chamfer. Or maybe before we can do something, and I mean, let's try to use a turbo smooth. Okay, as you see, it is too big, so checking the final result, we can select all these vertices and also there. Let's set an higher, let's say for example 3, and 3 for the weight also there. So you see it is a little bit better. And let's say that all those vertices are really a little bit up. Let's remove the edges faces. So you see, it's really simple. Okay, then this one, let's set to off this one, isolate, and we need to make it as boxes, so we can go there on the polygon, and this one can be let's use the bevel because the shape is not regular. Okay. Then we can select the edges. So we select this one, this one, this one. And we continue to select all the edges on the interior area and also on the exterior border. Then we go with a little bit of chamfer. And that's okay. Perfect. Exit from the isolation, and you see that we have the boxes there. It is still not complete, but it can be something to start working on. And we select and let's say to use the back facing, so there, 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 and then selecting all the internal faces. Okay, and those faces can be can use a different ID and exit from there. Perfect. Now we can select this one and we assign, let's say, box bottom, and let's say for the moment that we'll use a blue color. Then this one will be box interior, and then we have a box hub for this one, and this one will be a multi sub-object with two material. The first one will be an array material, and let's say that this one, the first one will be the same we'll use for the out boxes. So let's make an instance, and the second one is an array material, and let's say that we can start to be really fast from the silk with a white color, and a white color also there, and later we'll fix it. We need to play a little bit with the parameters. This one we can start with a iRay material there, and we can start with the velvet. Okay, and this one can be something similar to this velvet, so we can make a copy, paste, but we'll use a different color. Let's go also in the reflection there, more white reflection. So let's select this one, zoom a little bit, group close, and now we can move it. We can select these objects, and these objects will be the box number 1, and we can align on the x-axis. Then let's select the ring 1, and we can move in this way. Let's go near, just to see. We have to add also the bump mapping and all the other stuff. Let's make a test render just to see how it is going, and you see that we have something better than before. We have to work on the shaders, because actually there we are using just a really basic shader. We have no bumping, we have nothing, so we have to play a little bit better with the stuffs, but it is not bad. And we have also to finalize the lighting. So let's save, and for this part of the tutorial, that's all. We have to continue creating the other rings. I like to add to the scene more complex rings with more materials, and we have to finalize these shaders and the lighting. So for the moment that's all, and I hope to see you back on Max Cookie to check for new tutorial coming from cgcookie.com. Bye.